Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Joseph Novichkov, Senior Trading Manager with GDM. Today's outlook, firstly we're going to start with the Asian markets. They traded mostly lower on Wednesday, tracking US losses. As of course, uncertainty over central bank's next move spurred more jitters on the market. Chinese mainland shares retreated with the Shanghai Composite Index down about 0.5%, while the Shenzhen Composite fell about 0.3%. Tracking also the Japanese Nikkei 225 index, it was down about 0.35%, with the yen slipped broadly on Wednesday after a report that the Bank of Japan is also considering further monetary steps to ease its economy, including taking interest rates deeper into negative territory, which will, of course, major turmoil on the market will be brought. European stocks are expected to open higher on Wednesday, shrugging off market jitters over the central bank's uncertainty and, of course, the renewed drop in oil prices. Looking at the dollar, which extended overnight gains and it was up about 0.5% at 103.11 yen, the greenback briefly touched 103.2, its highest in 8 days. As we mentioned, the European markets are expected to see some losses, tracking the Asian losses and US losses on Tuesday, while uncertainty that was built was making the euro to stay quite unchanged against the dollar at 1.1219 after shedding 0.1% on the previous day. Dollar index was steady at 95.6 following an overnight gains of about 0.25%, with a rise in US long-term bond yields to 3-month high, buoying the greenback. Also looking at the commodities, gold held steady on Wednesday after falling about 0.6% in a prior session as the dollar slipped on expectations that the US Federal Reserve was likely to raise rates next week. Looking at the gold price, up about 0.3% this morning at $1321.80 an ounce as Goldman Sachs further cut its view on the likelihood of US rate hike next week, dropping it just to 25% from 40% prior. But it of course said that the chances of next rate hike occurring at Federal's Open Market Committee on December meeting have risen to 40%, up 10 from 30 on the prior. Holdings in the SPDR Gold Trust, the world's largest gold-backed exchange-traded fund, also fell about 0.5% to 935.49 tons on Tuesday. In the energy sector, looking at gold prices, rebounded this morning in Asian trade on Wednesday after falling by as much as 3% in the previous session, as data from the industry group showed a smaller than expected build in US crude stocks, while of course US West Texas Intermediate futures were up about 29 cents or about 0.7% at $45.19 a barrel. Looking at the numbers of the American Petroleum Institute throughout yesterday's session, reported a crude build up 1.4 million barrels up on the week ended September 9, smaller than the 3.8 million barrels expected in the calendar. The US government will issue official inventory data later on today. That's all from the important news of today. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.